Good evening, East Alabama. Welcome into the Locker Room, presented by Ted's Floors and Beyond. I'm Namath Pitts, the host of the Locker Room. Today we are going to be recapping baseball and softball action from yesterday. Also, the Alabama Sports Writers Association released their first baseball and softball rankings for this season. Now, as always, I always share my personal rankings, but I also like to keep you guys up to date on what other media members across the state think in terms of competition. So we're going to talk about the Alabama Sports Writers Association baseball and softball rankings today. So today's show is fully baseball and softball. That's it. That's what we're going to be talking about today. Hey, I want to remind you, though, before we get into the action, to hit that like and follow button. Those are two different buttons, by the way, if you didn't know that. There is a like button to like the page. A follow button means that most of our content will automatically come to the top of your page. So make sure to not just hit that like button, but hit that follow button as well. And if you haven't already, go ahead and share our page with other people. Invite them. Press that invite friends button. Just go down there and start pressing as fast as you can all the different names. That way other people have an opportunity to not miss anything that East Alabama now covers, because we cover a lot here in Calhoun and Cleveland County, branching out into the Etowah area as well. It's been a pretty busy week at Choccolocco Park. A lot of games taking place for baseball. Now, spring break for Calhoun County officially started a couple hours ago when school ended. So this next week will be spring break. So going to be really tough for us next week in terms of content because of spring break. We're going to put our best foot forward, try to be at Choccolocco Park a lot to get as much baseball highlights as I can for you guys, even though it's going to be spring break. I also want to remind you of our East Alabama Now news. That's every night at 6:30 p.m. Mike Stedham and Katie Edwards have your local news. John Holder is going to tell us about the weather. Been kind of rainy today. Is that going to continue tomorrow? Is it going to continue through the weekend? I'm not sure. I'm not a weatherman, but John Holder is, and he can tell you. I'm not as advanced as him. I can't do sports and weather. I can only do sports. But I'll have your local sports as well. The Gaston Bulldogs are moving on from Alan Beckett, and Ace Austin was named a finalist for the Class 1A Player of the Year. I'll have more on those two stories later tonight at 6:30 p.m. on East Alabama Now. Hey, yesterday we had about 4 games involving East Alabama teams right here in Calhoun County. So let's go ahead and go to our scoreboard to start the day. And this is a new segment we're actually going to try to bring to you guys as consistent as we can. We're going to start with Oxford and Alexandria. This was a rematch of the Calhoun County Championship game that was a classic. Went to extra innings. Yesterday, though, it was not as close as the county championship game. Coach Travis Jensen, the Oxford Yellow Jackets, put it to Coach Welch and Alexandria. Oxford won 7-0. Nick Richardson and Ty Gann racked up 3 hits apiece in the rematch between these two teams. Richardson batted leadoff for Oxford. He went perfect at the plate, 3 for 3, with 2 runs and 2 runs batted in, while Gann hit a pair of doubles and drove in 2 runs. Forrest Heacock did finish with an RBI. Richardson, R.J. Brooks, and Cannon Whitman combined to pitch a 3-hit shutout. Oxford only gave up 3 hits to Alexandria as Coach Travis Jensen's team got the win 7-0. Next game, how about this? Coach Edwards and the Jacksonville Golden Eagles got a big win over a really talented Donahoe Falcons team. Matthew Parker, hey, by the way, job shadowed us a couple weeks ago. Matthew Parker, my man, what's up, buddy? He pitched 6 1/3 innings of shutout baseball as Jacksonville got the win over Donahoe at Choccolocco Park. Parker allowed only 3 hits and 2 walks. He struck out a batter. Jackson Askew pitched the final 2/3 of the inning, and there was 4 Jacksonville Golden Eagles, Gavin Peeler, Kingston Peeler, they're brothers, by the way, if you didn't put that connection there. John Ducker and Matthew Salmon, they all had 1 hit apiece. Ducker and Ryan Mitchell each had a run batted in. Cash Worley, Kai Kleckler, and Sam Montgomery each had a hit for Donahoe, but it was all Golden Eagles. In a battle of birds, it went Jacksonville's way. All right, let's move on to our next one. It was area play for White Plains, Blake Jennings' team, and Anniston. White Plains got the big win Tuesday. That's right, they win by 3 touchdowns last night. No quarterback play, though. It was all at the plate. And Cooper Tinney, the ace pitcher for White Plains, had himself a day at the plate. He had 4 RBIs. He hit a home run as White Plains won in 5 innings against Anniston. Tinney finished 2 for 3 with 2 runs. He hit a home run and a double. And then leadoff batter Paul Lobby went 4 for 5 at the plate, scored 4 times, racked up 3 RBIs. Ashton Wallace, Braxton Borelli, and Dalton Luker each finished with 3 hits and 2 RBIs apiece in the victory. And then on the mound, it was Wallace, Braxton Curls, and Aiden Kilgore. By the way, happy birthday to Aiden Kilgore. Today's his birthday. Happy birthday, Aiden Kilgore. Well, Aiden Kilgore, Braxton Curls, and Wallace combined for a 5-inning no-hitter. They didn't give up a hit. They walked 3 batters, struck out 6. White Plains not only no-hits Anniston, but they win by 3 touchdowns as they win 21-0. And the final baseball game from yesterday that we're going to talk about, it was area play for Kyle Parrish and the Ohatchee Indians. It was not their day, as Hope's Bluff took the win 10-3. Jesse Baswell finished with 3 hits, but it was not enough. Not usually. Usually you don't see a guy that gets 3 hits and your team gets drilled by 7, but that's what happened yesterday. Baswell batted leadoff for Ohatchee. He finished 3 for 4 with 2 runs and an RBI in the loss. And then Jake Robertson led Ohatchee with 2 RBIs, finished with 2 hits. Xavier Luna had a hit as well, but it would ultimately be all Hope's Bluff as they get the area win 10-3. All right, so that is our baseball scoreboard for today. Let's go ahead and keep it rolling. Let's look at softball action from East Alabama yesterday. We had some big wins for a couple teams. Let's start with Rachel Smith and the Piedmont Bulldogs. They win 10-3 on the road at Fort Payne. Kayla Brothers hit not 1, but 2 home runs as Piedmont got the win over Fort Payne. Brothers went 2 for 4. She scored 3 times, racked up 3 RBIs. Casey Brothers and Carson Young each finished with 2 hits apiece, with Casey driving in 2 runs and Young driving in 1. Ava Pope had 2 RBIs. Young also pitched a complete game, allowing 6 hits, 2 earned runs, as Piedmont wins 10-3 at Fort Payne. Next game was a non-area game, 3A versus 3A, but non-area. Coach Poe's team against Sachs. And Ohatchee picked up its 15th. Not only did they score 15 runs in this win, they picked up their 15th win of the season. And it only took them 5 innings to beat Sachs 15-4. And how about Brianna Martin? We interviewed her last week on the Locker Room. Well, she hit a home run and a triple. That's pretty tough to do, to hit a home run and a triple. She scored 3 times, finished with 2 RBIs. Alana Fitch makes good goat noises. You also heard that on her interview last week. She led Ohatchee. She had 3 hits, 3 RBIs. She pitched all 5 innings of the victory. And then Ellie Carden, Reese Stewart, and Lexi Thomas also had 2 hits apiece in the win as Ohatchee beat Sachs 15-4. Hey, it took 3 touchdowns for White Plains baseball to beat Anniston. It took the girls only 2 touchdowns and a 2-point conversion as they defeated Anniston 15-0. Callie Richardson hit a home run. I believe that's number 8 on the season for her. I could be wrong on that. She piled on 5 RBIs as White Plains won in 5 innings over Anniston. Richardson went 2 for 3 in the victory. She had a double, a walk. She also scored twice. Brayton Moran had a perfect day at the plate. She went 3 for 3 with a run and an RBI. Layton Arnold finished 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs. Carly Fritz pitched 3 shutout innings, allowing 1 hit and 1 walk, striking out 8 batters. Arnold then pitched the last inning and struck out a batter. Layla Tyus had a hit for Anniston, but White Plains gets the area win 15-0. Coach Fulmer and the Weaver Bearcats started a little rocky, but here they are. They've won some important area games. They defeat Brenna Vinson and the Welborn Panthers 9-0 last night, and it is Weaver's 3rd straight win. It's a shutout win over in-county rival Welborn. Kinley Fulmer, coach's daughter, she racked up, listen to this, guys, 18 strikeouts. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. If I'm not mistaken, that is 6 innings that she struck out the side, or got all 3 outs by strikeout. Either way, she only allowed 1 hit. She walked 4 batters, and then that's not it. You know, you get your 18 strikeouts, like typically that's enough for player of the game. How about adding 2 hits at the plate? That's what Kinley Fulmer did yesterday for the Weaver Bearcats. Sydney Bitzer finished 3 for 5 with a pair of doubles. She drove in 3 runs and scored 2 of her own. Alana Cooper and McKenna Holmesley each finished with 2 RBIs apiece. And then Welborn catcher Jordan Hunt had a hit for the Panthers, but it was all Weaver Bearcats as they get the area win over Welborn 9-0. And then next up, it is our final game, and it features the Saints of St. Clair County against the Raiders of Pleasant Valley. It was a pair of runs in the top of the 7th inning that ultimately sunk Pleasant Valley. That's right, St. Clair County scored a pair of runs in the top of the 7th inning, which would help them defeat Pleasant Valley 8-7. Madison Cromer piled on 3 hits for Pleasant Valley. She went 3 for 4 at the plate with a pair of doubles, 2 RBIs, and a run. There was 4 Pleasant Valley Raiders that all had 2 hits. Lily Henry, Kaylee Almerode, Jordan Cheatwood, and Alexa Cranmer, they each had 2 hits, but it was not enough as St. Clair County got the win over Pleasant Valley by a score of 8-7. All right, there's our East Alabama scoreboard to start the show. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to look at the Alabama Sports Writers Association baseball rankings, the first one of the season. They always release their top 10. I'm going to show you their top 6 at each respective classification. Hey, do not go away. I'm Namath Pitts. We'll be right back on the Locker Room, presented by Ted's Floors and Beyond.
Ted's Floors and Beyond is excited to introduce our all-new outdoor living collection. Have you ever dreamed of elevating or even creating an outdoor living space, whether it be for grilling, lounging, playing, entertaining, or just winding down? Our quality tile and stone, combined with our expert craftsmanship, will no doubt create unforgettable outdoor moments with family and friends, while also enhancing the beauty and value of your home. Call us today.
We live in a world that moves quickly, and while we are able to connect faster than ever through technology, maybe you've noticed that real connection is hard to come by. Parker Memorial Baptist Church offers you a place to connect, a place to learn more about Jesus and the difference He can make in your life, a place to build relationships with like-minded believers, or maybe discover what it means to be a follower of Jesus Christ. A place to use the gifts and talents God has given you. A place where we love God and we love you. Parker Memorial Baptist Church, 1205 Quintard Avenue, Anniston. Visit our website for details.
Ted's Floors and Beyond brings you the Locker Room each and every day. Ted's Floors and Beyond has all your flooring needs, whether it's hardwood, laminate, carpet, tile, luxury vinyl. They have it for you right there at Ted's. You can go by their showroom there in Anniston. You can pick out what you like, want, and need, and they can do that there at Ted's. Also, they've got their partnership with Welborn Cabinet and will offer you a complete kitchen or bath makeover. That includes cabinets, countertops, flooring, backsplashes, tile showers. They can get it done there at Ted's Floors and Beyond. And now they offer you work on your outdoor space, whether it's an outdoor kitchen, patio, or living space. They have specially made outdoor tiles and stones that can enhance your outdoor experience. Go by and see them today at their showroom in Anniston on Highway 431, right before you get to Sachs Elementary School, or visit them online at shopteds.com. That is shopteds.com. Ted's Floors and Beyond brings you the Locker Room. And we continue on the Locker Room. I'm Namath Pitts. We told you before the break we were going to be talking Alabama Sports Writers Association's first baseball rankings of the year. We're going to be talking about the softball rankings in the next segment. So let's just go ahead and get right into the action. Let's start in Class 7A. We don't have any 7A teams around here, so the odds are you're probably not familiar with any of these teams at all. But if that's the case, that's all right. Let's go ahead and take a look at them anyway. We're going to start with the number 1 team in the state, and it is Central Phoenix City. So Central Phoenix City is the number 1 team in Class 7A according to the Sports Writers Association. Number 2 is Bob Jones out of North Alabama. Number 3 is the Huskies of Hewitt-Trussville. 4 is Oak Mountain. 5 is Baker. And 6 is Thompson. So in Class 7A, Central Phoenix City is 1, Bob Jones 2, Hewitt-Trussville 3, Oak Mountain 4, Baker 5, and Thompson 6. All right, let's see where Oxford falls in Class 6A. They've got Travis Jansen's team at number 2 right now. Number 1. And you could really argue any of these 1, 2. I mean, but these are arguably the top 2 teams in 6A without a question. The question is going to be, does Oxford have enough on the mound? That's going to be the question to beat Hartselle in a 3-game series. I'm sure we're going to see those 2 teams in the playoffs. But number 1 right now in Class 6A is Hartselle. Number 2 is Coach Travis Jansen's Oxford Yellow Jackets. 3 is Saraland. 4 is Mountain Brook. 5 is Briarwood Christian. And 6 is Gardendale. So right now in 6A, our local team in the Oxford Yellow Jackets are at number 2. In Class 5A, let's see where Coach Zach Welch and the Alexandria Valley Cups fall. According to the Alabama Sports Writers Association, they are number 3. So right now, Mobile Christian is 6. Shelby County is 5. 4 is Sardis. 3 is Alexandria. 2 is the Pirates of Boaz. And number 1 is Gulf Shores. So you got Gulf Shores right there at 1. Got a couple. Boaz isn't too far from us, just a little bit north of Gadsden. Sardis a little bit up that way, but Alexandria right there is the closest their East Alabama team, and they come in at number 3 right there in Class 5A. In Class 4A, we have We don't have any local teams right here in Calhoun, Cleveland County, but just north of us a little bit is Etowah. And Etowah comes in at number 5. Outside of Etowah, though, in Class 4A, you got Deshler at number 6. Again, we just talked about it, Etowah at 5. You got American Christian Academy out of Tuscaloosa at number 4. You got Bayside Academy is number 3. Number 2 is Corner. And then number 1 is Bibb County. Bibb County's number 1 in my rankings as well. But there you see it right there. Bibb County 1, Corner 2, Bayside Academy 3, American Christian Academy 4, Etowah 5, and Deshler 6. Looking at Class 3A now, there you got it. Coach Matt Dearman's team, number 1, the Piedmont Bulldogs. They were number 1 in my rankings as well. Glad to see that the sports writers agree with me. I guess technically I am a sports writer in a sense. I don't do newspaper and stuff, but still media. But anyway, right here looking at 3A, a lot of private schools. Providence Christian, private school. Prattville Christian, private school. St. James, private school. So a lot of those teams right there in the top 6. Again, Providence Christian's out of South Alabama, they're number 6. Prattville Christian, of course, out of Prattville, number 5. St. James and Montgomery's 4. Thomasville is 3. Decatur Heritage is 2. They knocked Piedmont out last year. Piedmont's 1. Matt Dearman's team looking for revenge on Decatur Heritage if they meet up in the playoffs. In Class 2A, you're looking at it right here, Collinsville, who's already defeated Pleasant Valley, has already defeated Donahoe, arguably going to win that area in Class 2A. Question is going to be who's number 2 in that area, Pleasant Valley or Donahoe. Right now, Collinsville 6, Wicksburg is 5, Vincent is 4 out of Pell City, 3 is GW Long, the Rebels, 2 is Pike Liberal Arts, and I always say this one wrong. I always call them Ariton. I don't think that's right. I've never actually had someone correct me on that, but that's what I'm going with right now. Number 1, again, number 2 is Pike Liberal Arts, 3 is the Rebels of GW Long, 4 is Vincent, 5 is Wicksburg, and 6 is Collinsville. Moving on to Class 1A. In Class 1A at number 6, you have Leroy, the Bears. Number 5 is Hackleburg. 4 is Sweetwater. Number 3 is Appalachian. We actually had highlights of Appalachian earlier this year. They're the defending champions in Class 1A. Number 2 is Summerton Christian. And 1 is Milry out of South Alabama. So I think it's interesting here. Milry, South Alabama. Leroy, South Alabama. So you got a couple Summerton Christian, kind of central-ish, but still a lot of southern teams right here. Sweetwater. So Appalachian, though, defending 1A champions, are currently at number 3 in the first Sports Writers Association ranking of the year. So that is the baseball rankings. That's the first released baseball rankings of this school year from the Alabama Sports Writers Association. It comes right around spring break, so not too long. So anyway, but hey, we do have the softball rankings as well. We're going to talk about those in a minute when we come back. So I hope you'll stay with us as we continue on the Locker Room, presented by Ted's Floors and Beyond.
Ted's Floors and Beyond is excited to introduce our all-new outdoor living collection. Have you ever dreamed of elevating or even creating an outdoor living space, whether it be for grilling, lounging, playing, entertaining, or just winding down? Our quality tile and stone, combined with our expert craftsmanship, will no doubt create unforgettable outdoor moments with family and friends, while also enhancing the beauty and value of your home. Call us today.
For over 60 years, Oxford Lumber has been servicing our area, and our customer service has always been our main focus. Our customer service is what sets us apart from anyone else. From the moment you enter, our highly trained staff will treat you like family.
To enthusiastically provide total customer satisfaction within a positive and self-fulfilling employee relations environment. Visit us at any of our 4 locations or at oxfordlumber.com.
Since 1993, WM Grocery has been a major part of our local community. WM offers the very best in fresh produce and an outstanding meat department. WM also has many local products not found anywhere else and fresh sushi every day. If you need an event catered, come see Mrs. K at any WM store. Curbside pickup is also available for your online grocery orders. Be sure to download the WM app for all the deals of the week and shopper rewards. Go check them out today at any of their locations.
We take pride in our community and appreciate your business.
Welcome back into the Locker Room, presented by Ted's Floors and Beyond. I'm Namath Pitts, the host of the Locker Room. Hey, I want to remind you real quick, don't forget about our East Alabama Now news tonight at 6:30 p.m. Mike Stedham and Katie Edwards will have your local news. I'm not sure what's going on around here, but we live in Anniston, so surely something's happening. And then, of course, John Holder has your weather. It's been kind of rainy today. Is that trend going to continue tomorrow into the weekend? I'm not sure. I only do sports, and we're going to be looking at tonight on East Alabama Now News, the Gaston Bulldogs football program deciding to part ways with Alan Beckett. Also, Phenom Ace Austin named a finalist for the Class 1A Player of the Year. We'll have more on that tonight. Hey, did you know that we have a really, really talented group of teams in softball right here in East Alabama? Alexandria has been really good. Coach Muncher has a strong team at White Plains. And then, we just talked about Piedmont's Rachel Smith. Oxford's not bad. A lot of really talented teams right here in East Alabama when it comes to softball. And we had a strong presence overall, baseball and softball, in terms of the first rankings from the ASWA. So we showed you the baseball rankings. Let's now get into the softball rankings. And again, we're going to start in Class 7A. We don't have any 7A teams, so you're not really going to be familiar with these teams a whole lot. But number one in 7A, according to the Alabama Sports Writers Association, is Thompson. So they're really good at about every sport. That's just the truth. Same with Hoover. Hoover's number 2, the Bucks. 3 is the Huskies of Hewitt-Trussville. 4 is Central Phoenix City. They were 1 in baseball. They're 4 in softball. 5 is Tuscaloosa County. And 6 is the Rebels of Vestavia Hills. So you see it right there. Again, Thompson's 1, Hoover's 2, Hewitt-Trussville's 3, Central Phoenix City's 4, Tuscaloosa County's 5, and Vestavia Hills is 6. Did Oxford crack the top 6? They did not. Coach McKibben's team still looking to get in those rankings for the ASWA and myself. Number 1, though, is Wetumpka. Got to tell you, I love Wetumpka. It's a great area. My grandmother used to live in Wetumpka. I got a really nice school, too. My brother went there for a year. So 2 is the Huskies of Helena. 3 is Saraland. They're ranked in the top, I believe it's top 3 in both baseball and softball. I believe they're number 3 in both. Hazel Green's 4. Hartsville's baseball team's number 1 in the state. They're number 5 in softball. And 6 is Athens. And look at this. Hazel Green, Hartsville, Athens. Those 3 programs are not far from each other. So they're all right there in the 4, 5, 6 range in Class 6A. Looking at 5A, Alexandria's got to be ranked, and they are indeed. They are top 2, coming in at number 2. Now, I believe they actually lost to Jasper earlier this year in a tournament, so very interesting to see that the sports writers have them at 2 over Jasper at 3. But nonetheless, Coach Hess's team is really good. All eyes are on Springville. I had them in the top of mine. Moody's nowhere to be found on the top 6. Going to probably fall off mine as well. Gulf Shore's ranked in both boys and girls at number 4 in the softball rankings. Brewbaker Tech is 5, and then Russellville is 6. Russellville's typically pretty solid in baseball and softball year in, year out. So Springville's number 1 in 5A. Alexandria, local team, is number 2. In Class 4A, no respect for Coach Muncher's team at the moment from the Sports Writers Association. They got Brooks at number 6, West Limestone at 5, Satsuma at 4, Houston Academy at 3, Curry at 2, Orange Beach at 1. I really think you could flip Curry and Orange Beach, but personally, I don't think you can go wrong either way. Both of them are really good. Could you imagine living at Orange Beach? Sorry, that thought just comes to my head. Could you imagine being an athlete at Orange Beach? You get to live at the beach and you get to be good. You know what I'm saying? Like you get to win. Yeah, Gulf Shores and Orange Beach are pretty good, needless to say. Orange Beach is number 1 in 4A. All right, let's look at 3A, see where Rachel Smith's team comes in at. They got, no respect for them as well. They got them at 5. I mean, I guess they got them in there, but I feel like they're better than 5. Either way, Winfield 6. Rachel Smith's Piedmont Bulldogs are 5. Opp is 4. The Mustangs of Madison Academy is 3. By the way, my favorite mascot, period, is Mustangs. I love the Mustangs. Just ever since I watched Gridiron Gang, I've been a fan of it. But Madison Academy's got some really cool colors, too. I like the Trojans of St. James as well at number 2. The Bears of Plainview are 1. I like that color scheme. Needless to say, Plainview, really good in volleyball, really good in girls basketball, really good in softball. They have really strong athletics at Plainview. They're number 1 in 3A right now. Our Piedmont Bulldogs, number 5. Interested to see no Dadeville, no Beulah. That is very interesting because typically you see those in the top 5 every year in softball. So very intriguing to not see either one of those in the top 6. In Class 2A, yeah, Pleasant Valley isn't cracked in the top 6 right now. Winston County 6. Lamar County's 5, Hatton is 4, Zion Chapel is 3. West End, though, Walnut Grove, the Patriots are number 2 up in the Gadsden area. And then Wicksburg is number 1. So, again, you got West End a little bit north of us, but they're right there at 2. And then in Class 1A, the final classification, looking at Class 1A, and Spring Garden comes in at number 6. So, how about that? The Panthers in at number 6. Kinston's 5, Waterloo, how about that? That's a name. They're at number 4. Leroy is 3, Brantley is 2, and Skyline is 1. Again, Skyline, really good volleyball program. Girls basketball, really good. And there they are at number 1 in softball. Spring Garden, 2, won the volleyball championship, won the basketball championship. They're in the top 6 in softball. A couple schools that have very strong girl athletics, and that is the ASWA softball rankings. Their first one of the year comes right at spring break time. And so we got you guys up to date on that. Hey, I think we've covered about everything you can cover when it comes to baseball and softball today. So I hope you'll join me back here in just a little bit at 6:30 p.m. where I'll have more on Gaston going a different direction in terms of their football leadership, and more on Ace Austin, who is part of Spring Garden program and has won a lot of championships. So we'll have more on those in a little bit. Other than that, hey, stay safe this weekend. Stay dry. God bless. And I'll see you back here Monday on The Locker Room presented by Ted's Floors and Beyond.